and welcome to Savagely Delightful, a podcast exposing the schadenfreude nature in all of us. Each week, your co-hosts John and Christy will be coming at you with different stories of people making the kind of dumb mistakes that we all just love to hear about. Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone. I'm John.
And I'm Christy.
And welcome back to Savagely Delightful.
Yeah.
Episode 15.
Yep.
That's crazy.
15.
I never thought that it would get this far. I think we say that every episode.
Boo, I do.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
I feel like that's so shitty to say. I didn't think we'd make it this far. It's only 15 episodes.
It's not that I didn't think we could. It's just I didn't see it. You know?
No.
It's like, wow, I don't know. It's not something you expect. 15 episodes into the podcast, that was once just an inkling of an idea.
Yeah, just a sparkle in your eye.
Yeah, well, sparkle in your eye. You've done 90% of what it takes for this podcast to run.
Yeah, but 3 months in, so.
In just a couple weeks till we're married.
So much going on.
So much.
Okay, so.
And to everyone listening to this, happy April Fools. No, we're a little late, but.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, it's almost a week late.
Yeah, and I hope you didn't get punked by anything because it's one of the dumbest fucking traditions we have.
Yeah, basically.
I know it's it's an American tradition, but is it international too?
I have no idea.
I've never thought about that.
I haven't either.
Let us know if it's international too, because we have no idea. Because some people, people listen to this from all over the globe.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck is April Fools? Or we don't give a shit. We don't celebrate. So let us know, because I honestly don't know.
I have no idea either. But we'll see.
Yeah.
You want to start us off with a story then?
You want to stutter a little more?
Hey, fuck off.
Yes, I would love to. So my first story was submitted by RickRossthebos.
So do you think it's the real one?
Yeah, I wish. That'd be awesome. Alright, so he writes, okay, so this didn't take place today, but a few years ago. My mom went to the pharmacy with a splitting headache and was calling my grandfather on the way, complaining about stress from work and how she feels like normal pills aren't working. Spotting his chance on this perfect day, he recommended my mom a new brand that he'd seen online called Fuck It all one word.
Oh my god.
Edited on the bottles of the pills, my mom didn't think anything of it and asked the pharmacist if he had any in stock. Poor woman was in there for 5 to 10 minutes thinking he was the idiot for not understanding her. Until she showed him the picture and he pissed himself and said that she should read the label again and call the person who sent it to her. They laughed the whole way home over the phone, and needless to say, she now goes to a different pharmacy. He's passed away now, but still makes us laugh to this day. Okay.
What a cute April Fool's story.
That is super cute, but
that's hilarious. And then getting pissed at your pharmacist, why don't you know this? This is your job.
Well, also, they go to school for 8 years to know what is a thing and what's not.
They're essentially doctors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they should kind of know. First and foremost, though, your grandfather has some moves.
Right?
That was pretty good. That's the kind of father/grandfather I want to be. But yeah, you should be glad your mom goes to a different pharmacist now, because it doesn't sound like that's a place you need to go. Because yeah, like I said, they go to pharmacy school, which is practically doctorate school.
I mean, they
for
didn't
8 years, so they don't misread bottles.
They didn't do anything wrong though. They were telling her that they don't know what she's talking about.
That's true.
And she showed it to them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're an idiot."
That's true.
So.
Be safe. You ready for your next one?
Yeah. Okay, so my first story is from Magsey. And she says, this happened about an hour ago. I decided to go to McDonald's for the first time in years. It's a hot day today, and I had a weird craving for an ice cream sundae, which good freaking luck, because their machines are basically always broken.
That's true.
And forever unclean.
And we just got ice cream today, so good choice.
Yeah. Woot woot. Okay, so she says, anywho, I drive to McDonald's. I saw a car waiting in what looked like the drive-thru entrance and decided to queue up behind it and wait. There was only one car in front of me, so I thought, cool, this will be quick. 5 minutes passed and the line hadn't moved anywhere. I'm pretty patient, though. It was lunch hour, so the staff were probably super busy. 10 minutes pass, and I start to wonder why the line isn't moving anywhere. By this time, I was considering just going to the supermarket to buy some proper food. Then I see a random man walking towards my car. He sees me, he stops walking, he inspects the car in front of me, and approaches my window. Random man: "Hey, why are you parked up here?" Me: "Oh, I'm waiting in line to order a sundae." Random man: "You know that car in front of you is empty, right? There's no one inside it."
Oh my God.
Me: "Huh? Why is an empty car waiting in the drive-thru?" Random man: "Oh no, this is just a car park and you're kind of blocking the road. Drive-thru is over there," points towards a line of cars in the actual line.
What?
Yeah. She says, "Oh, I see. Guess I better go over there then, ... I just backed up and left, laughing my ass off. I feel like the other cars were judging me for waiting in the wrong place, but also I'm glad that somebody told me I was in the wrong place. Thank you, random man."
I've never mistaken a drive-thru for anything else.
Yeah, and I mean...
Or anything else for a drive-thru.
That's what I'm like, I'm wondering how this McDonald's is set up to where you can make that, like, mistake.
Drive-thru and, like, public usage places are meant for the least common denominator of person. So let that sink in that you still messed that up.
No, but, like, it had to have been the weirdest thing, or else, like, just being off in your own head and not even thinking of it type thing.
I get that. But damn, come on.
But, yeah, I totally would have just left at that point, too. Like, that sundae is not worth your dignity.
No, you take that L and you go to the next place. You go to the supermarket.
Right.
Get you some Kroger sushi and some
Call it a
mochi
day.
balls.
Yeah. But that's actually our second McDonald's drive-thru story that we've covered.
Yeah.
The first one was on our 5th episode called Holding Hands with My Boss, where he got a little bit too close with the other cars in the drive-thru. So if you want to hear that story, check out that episode and you'll hear all about it. But that was another funny one.
Didn't he trade paint with that McDonald's?
He did a lot of stuff.
Oh, man, yeah, there was so much more to that. Yeah,
right?
Go check that out. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, for sure.
So for my second episode, it was submitted by...
Second story.
Yep, you're right. Second story was submitted by a person's name I don't really understand.
You want to spell it out?
tifubgshagtw.
Yep, sorry, we're not trying. There it is.
That's my bad.
We'll take the L on this one.
She writes, some basic facts. I'm a married woman with 3 kids. I live in a medical and recreational state. I have a med card. Okay? So, I've been looking forward to... Wait, medicinal, not medical. That's my bad. Medicinal and recreational.
That's basically the same thing.
Yeah, it is. So, I've been looking forward to today for a few days now. I had to drive to town today to sign part of my taxes, an excellent excuse to enjoy some time away from the kids. As we've just gotten our stimulus, I decided to make a day of it. Go and get some bunch of things done and purchased that I'd been putting off. Then pick up a few medical-grade chocolate bar edibles, as yesterday my mother-in-law offered to take the kids overnight tonight. Woohoo.
Nice. Self-care.
Yeah. I left this morning a little after 10 a.m. It takes about 30 minutes to get to town because we're rural. I get my errands done in the downtown area, coming out of the final shop, turned and got to check out the shiny new medicinal dispensary. I got an extra lollipop with the chocolate bars, 10 milligrams, what fun. And then I ate it without thinking. I realize now this was not smart. I made a couple quick stops, maybe 30 minutes, and was at Taco Bell eating by 1 p.m. Then I went to Walmart just a couple minutes down the road.
Is 10 milligrams a lot?
No.
Okay.
So milligrams, from what I know of it, like 10 milligrams is a decent amount for someone who like never has smoked. It's a like nice like entry into it.
Okay.
But for someone who's like a consistent medicinal smoker, then like no, that's not a lot.
It won't do too much.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm thinking. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
So, like I said, went to Walmart just a couple minutes down the road. I noticed fairly quickly that it had been a while since I had seen the inside of a Walmart. I had to really try to remember where the departments were. I wanted flashlights for the kids and for when the power goes out. By the time I'd safari hunted down a Walmart employee and then found the flashlights, I was walking around the aisles in circles trying to find my way to the register. At the registers, I was needing a slightly lean up against the self-checkout machines. But then, success. I made it back to the minivan. Oh, what a sweet relief. I checked the packaging of the lollipop. It said 50 milligrams.
Oh!
So now, I'm stuck at the Walmart and the receipt says 2 p.m. After taking time to explain how I fucked up to my hubby and that I won't be home for a while, I realized it had taken more than 2 hours for me to write this post. I think I might be here for a while, which is a bummer.
Oh my god.
Luckily, I just happened to land the best possible location to be stranded, especially as a woman in a very rural area. It's a 24-hour Walmart, so I've got bathrooms and supplies and can legally park my car for as long as I need. I just happened to park inside of a light and security cam. I'm in town, so there's good delivery. I still got some Taco Bell and a Pepsi, and I've got my charging cable, and the wireless is pretty good. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
She's just all camped up there. Riding it out.
She's high as shit in this Walmart parking lot, and she's like, well, can't do anything about this. Yeah. Which, as I'm reading this, it's become abundantly clear how high you really are, because reading that almost made me have a stroke for a minute, for a quick sec. But first and foremost, I'm really glad that you decided to veg out in your car when you noticed how high you were.
Yeah.
That's responsible. I really appreciate that. Driving in that state isn't very safe, and I'm happy that you decided to be a decent person.
Well, and that would make me super paranoid, because, like, I've never really smoked, like, maybe a handful of times, if that, in my life. Mm-hmm. But every time that I have, I get super nervous about it and feel like everybody is judging me. So, like, even just going back into Walmart to, like, waste some time or stuff, I would not want to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, second of all, she lucked out by being at a Walmart, like, especially when the weed starts to kick in, because it's one of, like, the most chill places when you're high.
That's true.
Because no one gives a shit what you're doing as long as you're not stealing or destroying anything.
Yeah.
The only place that could have been better is, like, a Mexican restaurant for, like, the obvious munchy reasons. But that's about it.
Well, and in a lot of rural places, like, I mean, me growing up, Walmart was basically the happening spot because there's nothing else around.
Yeah.
So, like, being able to just hang out at the Walmart, like, I don't know, makes sense.
It does.
But
yeah, you definitely lucked out.
Yeah.
You got your little stoner kit, your charging cable. You got something for your cotton mouth. You're all set. Just ride that out.
Yep, could have been worse for sure. Okay, so my second story is from an anonymous source. And they write, I've recently been getting really into fish tanks. I decided I wanted a larger fish tank, so I decided that I was going to go and get one.
It's interesting how people have, like, hobbies that are weird to me, but stuff they love.
I find fish tanks fascinating.
But
there's so much work.
I find them the exact opposite. It's just it's a square of water and fish.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. The sound of the filter and then, like, the fish swimming, I can stare at one for hours, and it is so calming. It's like watching a lava lamp. I can stare at those for forever, too.
I'm so glad you're so easily entertained.
I feel like that makes me sound really stupid, but, like, I promise I'm intelligent, but...
You're at peace with yourself, which is great, babe.
I just find some things very calming.
You do you. I don't mean to shit on your hobby. I'm sorry. Like, I wasn't supposed to be mean, but I don't see how that could be very...
Some people are super
thrilling.
Intense with it, too.
They are, yeah.
But anyways, she says, yesterday I bought a 65-gallon fish tank. It was on sale for a great price, which is a red flag that I foolishly looked past.
Is that big?
I think that's a pretty good size one, yeah.
Because, like, all I'm thinking is eat, like, gallon jugs of, like, milk and, like, 65 of them.
So if you, like, stacked those.
Yeah, that'd be a lot. That'd be
huge.
That's
a big tank.
That's a big fucking tank.
Yeah. So, she got a deal of a lifetime, though.
Good.
So, She says, I got the fish tank home, and with help, I did a water leak test on my driveway. There were no leaks, so I thought I was good to go. Got the fish tank stand inside and placed on the stand. I started putting in our expensive aquarium dirt and gravel, then planted our live plants, which the cost really adds up to for that one as well, and proceeded to fill it up with water. I got the filter hooked up, heater in place. Then I noticed that the light for the tank didn't fit properly on top. It was too wide to sit flush, so it was always crooked. These plastic attachments to fill the gap between the lid and the tank edge also didn't fit. But at this point, I'm still just really happy that I have a large aquarium and can eventually get the fish of my dreams.
That's why everything was such a good price.
She says, but this is where the fuck up happens, she says. I'm looking at the filled fish tank, looking at my floor, and I think, can my floor even support the weight of this tank?
Oh, so it is really big.
Which I never would have thought about that kind of question.
Did I miss that she was in an apartment or something?
Hang on. She goes on and says, I live where we don't have basements, so the house structure isn't the problem. I'm worried about the flooring. I have Pergo flooring, which is basically just a laminate wood flooring. I started doing some quick research, and I learned that anything over 500 pounds would not be okay for my flooring. Sure, it would be fine right now, but when the flooring expands with the heat in the upcoming summer, it would be really bad. I had spent hours setting this tank up with my boyfriend, which, like I said, I never would have thought about the floor being an issue, or like the type of flooring.
My question still stands. Is it in a house on the top level?
It's just like a base level house.
But with no basement?
Yeah, they don't have basements, so it's floor level.
So it should just be like on a concrete slab or something, because there has to be some base.
Yeah, but the flooring itself is not okay for that much weight.
Yeah, it will be if it's on a concrete slab.
No, baby, what the floor is made of cannot handle it.
I'm saying that things can be altered.
Okay, anyways.
If you have a problem, there is a solution.
Yeah, replace your flooring. That's about the only solution. But she says, we decided we needed to return the fish tank. So at 8:30 p.m., the draining process began. 2 gallons at a time, we scooped the water out of the fish tank. This took 3 hours because of trying not to get water all over us in the flooring, which didn't handle water well. Fast forward to 11:30 p.m., the water is out and we need to get the gravel out. This would have been a lot easier if we hadn't used actual dirt for the substrate, since the live plants need all of that stuff. Using a cup, we scooped out 65 pounds of dirt and gravel. 2 hours later, this was done. Now we're stuck with 1 inch of dirt water at the bottom of the tank. Thank heavens I have an old trusty wet dry vacuum in my garage. Being 1:30 a.m. and living in my mom's house, I had to go to her and explain why I'm using the wet dry vac in the middle of the night. She was just glad that there wasn't any water damage, and the vacuum worked like a charm but leaked dirt water all over my floor. So now I'm manually wiping down all the dried dirt water in the tank, getting the fish tank back into my car and returning it. I'm taking this as a major defeat and learning lesson. Make sure your flooring/floors can support a large fish tank before you end up like me. Which, like, what a process. Those really are, like, so hard to, like, put together, like, properly so that everything works right. And it's, like, you're literally creating your own habitat and stuff. So
is true.
There's so much that goes into it. And normally it is well worth it in the end because you're able to enjoy it at the end. But to do all that work and then just to have to tear it all back down.
Yeah, that would suck.
Ugh.
I think I'm getting a better understanding of this now because I was thinking of my mom's house. It's on a base level, but there's no concrete slab under it. It just has a crawl space. It's not a basement, but just a crawl space. So I can see how that wouldn't be able to support something that weighed that much.
I don't know.
Sorry, I've still
You're
been thinking.
so concentrated on that one part.
I have so many questions about this because it took me a while to think about that and how it's not a concrete slab, that there could just be a crawl space. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, well, that was the end of my story. So you ready for your next one?
I am. This one was submitted by Round Fame, and he writes, "So my partner is Persian, and as such, I have been slowly learning Farsi, which is the Persian language."
Didn't know that.
Me neither. I actually had to look up how to pronounce it. And he's learning this to talk to her in her own native tongue.
That's sweet.
It's very nice of him. It is. Well, tonight we are starting to get down to some snuggling, and as I was caressing her, I figured it was time for some sexy talk, and I started with a few sweet sayings. Now, usually I opt for English, and since she didn't know I had started learning Farsi, I wanted to surprise her tonight by seducing her in her tongue, as it were. I started off with classics like Duset Daram, which is I love you, and Atashe Dalam, which is fire of my heart. Please don't come at me if I pronounce those wrong. I tried. I looked them up. Which she was surprised by and seemed really excited by. Then the disaster happened when I stumbled into a mistake or two by whispering in my most velvety voice, "An'am," which according to my wife means poop. I think she pulled a muscle by laughing so much. She hasn't stopped laughing yet, and I don't know when she will stop.
Oh my gosh.
But that's honestly just like wholesomely hilarious.
Right.
That's just so nice. Trying to learn an entire different language for someone that you care about is really sweet. And I'm sure that she will see the effort that you're putting into caring about her. But also, that's a giant mood ruiner when you're trying to be, like, so seductive and sweet, and then they say something about the shit you took earlier.
Right. Well, it's so sweet, but, I mean, there's language barriers to everything. So especially when you're trying to be so serious and, like, surprise her for the first time with it, like, that's already so much pressure, and she was probably caught off guard by that, and then caught off guard when you interject with poop as well. So, like...
Well, he says it's his wife, so, like, I'm assuming they've been together for a little bit and they know each other pretty decently. And so, you know, they're in the middle of already being husband and wife, and then he starts going into, well, now I'm going to learn this language for you. So, like, he hasn't stopped caring, which is so nice.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and then, of course, you just talk about shit.
Yeah. It's good to talk about your bowel movements. I get it.
Yeah. You ready for your next one?
Yeah. Okay, so my next story is from the Swear Crow. And
the Swear Crow?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? It's a good play on words. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they write, "You know how it is said that you can't punch in your sleep?"
What?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
You can't punt?
Punch.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of like fighting underwater. Yeah.
Fighting underwater?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, whenever you try to, like, swing your fist, it's super slow and you can't have your full impact.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like, kind of lag down or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I know you can bow people in your sleep, but not punch.
Well, do you know that from experience, Christy?
Unfortunately.
My bad.
But anyways, he says, "Well, I found out that you actually can do it by being the biggest moron on earth and the true embodiment of a Russian proverb, if there's strength, brain is extra. During the last 2 months, I worked full-time, went to school in mixed regime, half on and half off-site, and wrote my final paper. Something like 2 hours of sleep at night for the past couple of weeks finally caught up with me, and I transformed into a zombie, more or less.
Uh-huh.
My wife was beginning to be more and more concerned with my mental state, so she bought me some sleep drops in order to have a full night's sleep in one of my days off."
Good.
Which 2 hours a night, that's rough.
I mean, that's like you.
I mean, I have sleeping problems for sure, but 2 hours a night for, like, that consistent?
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah. You get, like, 3 or 4 a night pretty consistently, and then on the weekend you sleep for, like, 10 hours.
Right? The weekend is my time to shine when it comes to sleep. Okay, so he says, "I took the drops and went to sleep, and after what felt like a couple minutes of nothingness, there it was. The most bizarre nightmare I ever had. I dreamed that our bedroom was invaded by Minecraft wolves. I don't know why. I didn't even play the damn game.
Okay.
One jumped to bite her, and that's when I flung my fist, only to be awoken by a sharp pain in my hand. My fist hit the wall next to my wife's side of the bed.
Oh, man.
There's blood on the paint. I'm in agony, and she's terrified.
Damn.
Amazing way to be awoken at 3 a.m.
I bet.
With a moron punching a wall to fend off imaginary wolves.
Hey, he's there for you.
Right? Says she drove me to the hospital, cry laughing. I apologize over and over again, but I still feel shitty for what I did. 0 out of 10, don't take sleeping medication if you're under a lot of stress.
Yeah, that's a bad decision.
Yeah, and like there's just so many different like horror stories of people taking sleeping pills and what they can do to like just your nightmares in general, and then that has like outward effects from it.
Well, I could just imagine getting a little scientific here. You know, like whenever you use your muscles, you can only use about like a certain percentage of it. Don't quote me on what percentage. I thought it was like you can only use like 80, 70, or 80% of your muscle capacity. Oh. And so if you're unconscious like that when you're sleeping, you might be able to use like a little extra, and that could severely harm your own body.
Ugh, that's scary.
Yeah.
But like it was sweet though. You're trying to save her from like some Minecraft wolves.
Definitely.
It just backfired a lot. And I mean, on the bright side too, at least you didn't punch her.
Yeah, that's not good.
It could have been worse.
Yeah, I've bowed Christy a couple times in my sleep on accident.
Yeah.
I'll be sleeping with my arms above my head, and then I'll turn over in my sleep, and my arm will just fall and hit her in the face. Be there. Yeah. I haven't done it in a while though.
Knock on wood, but no, you haven't. No, it hasn't been like bad ever, but like sometimes I'm like, ooh, my nose really fucking hurts from that one. But,
maybe we should submit to ourselves,
right?
We should have an episode where we just do mess ups on us. We
basically do every episode. We interject with crap things that we've done.
Yeah, you guys probably know a lot about us that you shouldn't, right? All of our mess ups.
Exactly. But yeah, so those were our stories for this episode. Vowels.
The what?
I said vowels.
Those.
Yeah, I messed up.
We really appreciate you guys listening to us and can't wait to share some more stories next week.
Yep. If you have any stories that you want to submit, please send them to savagellydelightful@gmail.com. And yeah, just like, share, tell people about us, download, do all the things. But bye guys. Love you. So, you may have made a mistake today, but at least you didn't mess up as badly as the people we discussed. And if you did, we'd love to hear about it, and we may even feature your story on an upcoming episode. You can find us online at www.savagellydelightful.buzzsprout.com, on Twitter at savage_delight, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at savagellydelightful. If you like what you heard today and want to show your support, please consider donating to us on Patreon at patreon.com/savagellydelightful. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future episode releases, and please consider leaving a review so it's easier for others to find our podcast.